Denza has released their first luxury SUV that features multiple high-resolution screens, 2 fridges, massaging seats, a movie theater mode, dual-chamber air suspension, and a hybrid powertrain with a total output of 1,100 horsepower. And they might shake the market with their price tag again. I will share the price with you for this car at the end of the video, so stay tuned and let's get started. Equipped with electric side steps, this massive 6-seat crossover has a strong posture, retractable door handles, blackened pillars, and resembles a Range Rover, but it's longer and wider. On the roof, the N9 has a LiDAR and 3 cameras to power the latest generation autonomous driving system from BYD. A massive spoiler is built into the roof. The rear lights are performed in a signature Denza style, and the lower rear section is raised for a greater departure angle of 22 degrees. The approach angle at the front is 21 degrees. Inside, N9 is very spacious. I'm 182 centimeters tall and I have more than enough space for my legs, my head, my shoulders. Someone significantly taller than I am can comfortably sit here. The top of the dashboard is covered with Napa leatherette, which has a very good feel and premium look. The roof is covered with microfiber and also nice to the touch. Here we have 2 natural wood inserts and the ambient lighting goes around the car. The screens look bright and vivid, definitely more advanced compared to the recent BYD models. The central 17.3-inch screen already has English language available. The responsiveness is very fast, and same as in Yanwan and BYD cars, you can control the air con by simply sliding fingers up and down. You can also split this screen for multitasking. Down here, these icons you can set yourself for your own preferences. A big advantage is that it is an open Android, so you can set any app you like. On the sides, there are 2 smaller screens, one for the instrument cluster, and the one on the right is an entertainment screen for the passenger. It also equipped with a 50-inch head-up display. Under the central screen, there is a row of physical buttons. This one is for auto parking, then for the tank turn. Here you can adjust the suspension, where you can select sport or comfort options and also see the current clearance of the car. On the right side, there is a switch between the hybrid and powertrain options, the Eco Sport and Sport Plus mode control, and finally the button to turn on the Max Aircon flow. Below them there are 2 wireless chargers trimmed with nice fabric, but there are no cooling fans for them. Then we have 2 cup holders and finally a fridge/heater. As many other brands do these days, in China they put in a refrigerator which can also warm up your food. So as a refrigerator, it has a range between -6 and 6 degrees Celsius, and as a heater between 35 and 50, and you can control it via a slider here, and you can also open it on both sides. I have to say that this central console looks very well organized and feels very well made. I think all the elements are very thoughtfully designed. Here on the left side, there is a small cubby. It's also trimmed with fabric inside. Up in here, we have an electronic rear view mirror. The colors are very bright and solid. And above, there are sensor buttons to control the curtains. It's a long car, so there are 2 curtains up there. As for the steering wheel, it has a typical BYD shape with many physical buttons to control the music, the air con. You can answer the calls with these buttons. And the gear selector is located behind the steering wheel. The previous Denza Z9 GT had a gear selector located on the central console. Now they come up with a more modern solution. As long as it's not a slider on the central screen, I'm okay with that. Behind it, there are paddle shifters to control the autonomous driving function. As for the seats, the driver's seat has a long cushion. You can control it via the button here to extend it even longer to give more support to your hamstring. As for the cargo space, as you can see, there is no much space here right now, but you can move these rear seats further to give yourself more space. So yeah, there how much space you have once you do it, or you can even fold them. Yeah, and once you do it, of course, you get way more space. And also there are buttons here to control the air suspension. You can lift and lower the car for an easier cargo loading. As for the front, everything is covered for a better sound isolation, same as here. And around we have this rubber brim for dust protection. As for the doors, they are also covered with Napa Lazarite and have wood and chrome inserts. Later, there will be a version with electronic side view mirrors. So if you apply for that one, here you're going to have displays that will be streaming the video from the side view mirrors. 2 speakers, still Lazarite here, but plastic inside. And I really like their solution for opening the door. Actually, there are 2 buttons, one here and one is here at the top. In some other cars, if you apply for an automatic doors, once you try to open it, there is a resistance because there is a motor inside that prevents you to open it like as fast as you want. Here, if you use this button, it feels almost the same as a normal door. There is just a slight resistance, which is very bearable, of course. But if you apply for that one, it's like a fully automatic door. And yeah, of course, you can open and close with those buttons. And on the driver's side, of course, you can close the door with simply stepping on the brake pedal. Oh, and one more important thing, here there is a mechanic door handle. Basically, if your system on your car fails, like nothing works, these electronic openers do not work, you can still use this mechanic door handle to open it in an emergency situation. That is actually very important. And features these massive 22-inch wheels with perforated and ventilated discs and massive brakes. The rear wheels steers the front wheels by 10 degrees, and also similar to Denza Z9, it can move the rear side of the car to park in tight conditions. And it also can do a tank turn. The front and middle rows are covered with Napa leather and offer heating, cooling, and massaging functions. As for the third row, it offers only the heating function. Right now, the seat in front of me is set up for a very comfortable position. There is a lot of space there for the legs, but still here I have enough space to get comfortable. And there are still buttons to control this position. So these seats you can not only move front and backward, you can also move them side to side. When they are put together, they could be moved backward even more. Also, the rear seats equipped with the leg support for even more comfortable ride. Oh, and I like because here they have the same solution. You have a button here to move this seat forward if you want to have more space. So yeah, there are so many adjustment buttons here. Here we have foldable trays. They feel a little bit too high for me. I think if you want to work on your laptop, it could be a little bit lower. But the good thing is that the seats from behind also covered with that nice material. It's plastic, but or maybe it's leather. It's really hard to judge. I mean like artificial leather, but no, it's plastic, but it has a very good touch. The first time I looked at that, I thought it's leatherette. And here we have mirrors with the lights. And of course, there is a big screen in the middle. It's 17.3 inches, same as the central screen. And yeah, once you set up the seats in a cinema mode, you can enjoy a movie here in a very comfortable position. And that screen also, of course, has English language available. But yes, I have to mention that some competitors in Chinese market come up with more spacious screens. So yeah, if they create such a cinema mode for that car, I think a bigger screen would come in handy here. Maybe they will release an upgraded version like something Denza N9 Plus or Super with a bigger screen. Oh, and both the second and third row, they have anchors for children's seats. So technically you can transport up to 4 kids in this car at the same time. On the passenger side, they have a glove compartment. Inside it's trimmed with fabric and actually it's quite spacious. Also it has a port for KTV. You can set up the password for this glove compartment on the central screen. Also the passenger seat has a zero gravity mode, which is very comfortable. Under the central console, there is a tray, also trimmed with fabric on the front side, and it has USB Type-C and also a slot for SD card. The N9 features a sound system from Wechat with 26 speakers around the car, and actually 2 of them are built in the headrests of these seats. It really comes in handy when you watch a movie or anything on this screen and you have a separate sound channel specifically for yourself. And down here we have a screen to adjust the curtains. You can open and close them via this screen here. Also, of course, the air conditioning, seat functions, cooling, heating, massaging. And yeah, under it, again, there is a fridge/heater. It's more spacious at the rear. And there is a cool button that you can use if you want to close everything to turn the car into a sort of sleeping mode. Let me show you. Close everything. And all the curtains, they get closed. By the way, yes, the doors at the second row, they have automatic curtains, but the one at the third row doesn't have it. But I'll show you later what it has. Then, of course, we have armrests here. And under them, there are two more wireless charging ports for your phone, also a Type-C port, and one more slot, and I think that is for TV control. And yes, the second row seats are, of course, also automatic. You can open and close them via a button here. Oh, and I forgot to mention that the driver's seat also has this dynamic support on the sides. They are like air cushions. Once you turn to the right side will blow up to give your body some support so it won't roll on one side. And the same for the left, of course. I tried the same system on Denza Z9 GT, and it does feel very cool. And at the same time, you can set the tightness of these sides mandatory to have your chair more hard or more soft for your preferences, which is also cool. By the way, the wheel's height and reach can be controlled with a physical controller on the left side. And now let's talk about the third row. About the space, it all depends how you set up the seats in the middle. If you give yourself more space, like this seat right now is pushed forward, there is a lot of space there. You can definitely sit comfortable. On the left side right now, this seat is set for the comfortable position for the passenger in front. So yes, here I don't have that much space. Remember I told you about the curtains? It doesn't have automatic curtains here, but it has manual curtains here, and they're actually quite well made. Again, we have here cup holders, many buttons to control the seats. You can move them again. Oh my God, you can move the pillow up and down these ways. You can also move it forward and backward. Of course, you can change the incline of your chair, and under it, there is a socket for a 220-volt charger. As for the performance of this car, right now it's not available for a test drive, but I will quickly share with you the specs. So it's a plug-in hybrid with two electric motors at the rear and one at the front, which are combined with a turbocharged 2-liter and 4-cylinder engine. So here we have the chargers. Right now it's charging, by the way. And on the left side, there is a port for a gas tank. This car is using 92-octane gas. The overall powertrain offers you a 1,100 horsepower. The 0 to 100 acceleration time is not known at the moment, but it's said it's going to be less than 4 seconds. It features a double wishbone front and multi-link rear suspension, and of course a dual-chamber air suspension that I mentioned earlier. Right now this car is not available for a test drive, so I have not tried it myself, but considering the size of this car, and I already tested other Denza, like the Denza Z9 GT actually, with the air suspension, it was already very soft. But with such a huge car and the dual-chamber air suspension, I think this car is going to deliver a very comfortable ride. I can't wait to test it. By the way, of course, once I have a chance, I will make another video, so sign up to my channel to stay tuned on that video. Oh, and the size of the battery pack is 47 kilowatt hours, and it's also said that this car can go over 200 kilometers on pure electric energy. And finally, about its price. But before we get to this topic, I would like to quickly mention that I'm getting very close to the first 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. So if you like this video, please hit this subscribe button. It would be deeply appreciated. And now about the price. So right now, the certain price is not known, but it's said it's going to be in a range between 400 and 450,000 yuan. However, what happens in Chinese car market sometimes, and it happened with another sub-brand of Denza, once they announce the car, they announce a high price to kind of position it into people's mind as a premium car at a high premium price, but then they drop it. So I won't be surprised that this car gonna drop the price significantly once it's available for purchase. And if that will happen, for sure they're gonna take the leading place as a premium SUV race on Chinese market.